Thank everyone for coming. Senators Reid and Kaine and Coons and Cortez Masto for joining us. Now, we have a lot on the agenda this week, so I'm going to get right to the thing on everyone's mind, NDAA. Thanks to the work of many, especially Jack Reed, last night the Senate began the process for floor consideration of the annual defense bill, a bipartisan vote, 72 to 25. Over the weekend, nearly all the committees across the Senate worked round the clock on a substitute. I must have been on the phone with 25 members on the weekend with a manager's package that has 51 amendments, 21 from Republicans, 21 from Democrats, 9 bipartisan. This morning, we locked in an agreement to begin consideration of amendments on the floor, and we'll begin voting this afternoon, continuing an open, constructive process. I hope and expect there will be more votes tomorrow and next week. For more than 6 decades, we have worked in good faith to pass the NDAA. It's a prime example of how the Senate can work constructively to provide for our nation's defense, take care of our service members and DoD civilians, and make investments necessary to innovate and build up our military and intelligence capabilities. If both sides keep working together, I hope we can pass the defense authorization bill before we leave for the August state work period. And as we have every reason in the world to finish it quickly, there's a lot that both sides can celebrate in the NDA's provisions. And I'm going to point out a few that may not have gotten the attention but should, because they're important. On China, we make much-needed progress on outcompeting the Chinese government. As you know, we're putting together a total bipartisan China package, but the beginnings of it are already in this bill, showing you the seriousness and success we're having. And that includes making progress on the AUKUS agreement and competing with China on emerging technologies. That is in the manager's package. It includes dedicated efforts on outcompeting China in quantum computing, increasing U.S. leadership in advanced nuclear technology, and reinforcing alliances and agreements in the Pacific, like COFA, the Compact of Free Association, and by authorizing the full budget request for the Pacific Deterrence Initiative. One of the things that is so important is fighting fentanyl. And the two committee members, Senators Scott and Brown, had put together the Fend Off Fentanyl Act, which is really tough stuff against fentanyl. I worked hard with Tim Scott, and he reached out to the House side because of the blue slip issue, and that is now in the manager's package. It's a huge win in the battle against opioids, one of the most important issues we face. As you all know, more people have died of fentanyl than others. It allows sanctions against China and Mexico, declares a national emergency on fentanyl and fentanyl coming into the country, which gives the president broader powers that he needs to fight this, and deals with precursor chemicals that both China and Mexico, well, China produces the chemicals, Mexico processes them. Tough sanctions on both of these countries if they continue to send fentanyl to us. And on AI, we've taken some important steps on it in this bill. The amendment I offered worked with Senator Rounds, Young, and Heinrich, directs DoD to research critical issues like explainability, increase data sharing within DoD, increase reporting on AI's use in the financial industry, and creates a bug bounty program. And another bill, we're not talking as much about this, but we're making great progress on, is the appropriations bill, where Senators Murray and Collins have gotten together, and we're on the path to producing all of these bills out of committee, bipartisan. And this is a point I want to make. These are two of the most important things we can do, funding defense and funding the government through the appropriations process. The contrast between the House and Senate is glaring. In the House, there's all kinds of partisan divisions. There's no votes by Democrats and Republicans. And there's all kinds of MAGA amendments that just get in the way of getting anything done. Compare that to the Senate, where bipartisanship is working well and smoothly. The contrast is glaring, and we hope that the House takes a lesson from the Senate and works in a productive way so we can pass these important bills. Senator Reid. Oh, Senator Cortez Masto has to go to an appointment, so Jack has graciously conceded to let her go.
Thank you. Thank you.